After the Civil War, Texas was in trouble. The state had very little money. In fact, it was just about broke. Texas didn't have any cash, but luckily it did have plenty of something that was almost just as valuable. Texas was home to a lot of cattle. Semi-wild longhorn cows roamed all over the Texas prairies. These animals were large and strong. They could go for a long time with very little water. Their horns sometimes measured up to 8 feet across. And what was better than anything else is that these cattle provided beef that people could eat. Everyone started thinking of ways to round up the cattle. They wanted to sell the cattle to people in other states who wanted to buy beef. In fact, people living east of the Mississippi River wanted to buy lots and lots of beef. From 1865 to 1885, more than 5 million cattle were sold in the East. Life in Texas changed almost overnight for many people in the new cattle industry. Many eastern cities demanded beef, so there were lots of opportunities for big profits. More than 35,000 men worked as cowboys, wranglers, and cooks during the 2 decades after the war. These people worked long, hard hours driving or guiding cattle along trails. The cattle were then shipped on railroad cars to meatpacking plants in large cities like Chicago. The cattle industry made some people very rich. Other people worked very hard to make a simple living. Some towns and cities grew and did very well because of the cattle industry. Other communities failed when the cattle industry slowed down. In this issue, you will learn all about how ranching and the cattle industry grew in Texas. You will learn about how people's lives changed because of it. You will find out how towns along cattle trails grew and changed over time, and you will get to learn about people who lived and worked in Texas during this period. These Texans who made a living ranching and raising cattle were usually independent, hard workers. They had to have courage and endurance. The story of the cattle industry in Texas is very fascinating.